Guys, let's see what wants to come through today. Hope you all are doing well. Some of you have been asking if I offer personal readings, and I do offer personal readings. You can find all the information to book with me in the description box below. I would love to do a reading for you guys. All right, let's see what wants to come through. Taking its time. Let's see. That'd be good. Okay, I have a few coming out here. I have spring, everything that blossoms, and I have masks behind the folding screen. Okay, so it looks like, everything is looking really good, really positive right now. And there's good things not only now, but here in the future. There are some things that might be a little bit hidden that aren't exactly being quite revealed to you yet. And, it's just kind of one of those like, wait for the surprise kind of moment here. This seems like it could be a really positive surprise. So maybe don't get too worried here. But things are looking really good right now. Okay. It looks like times are really abundant. Things are going really well. And the energies are very positive at this time. Let's continue on. Have walking clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. Okay, so there might be some things that are coming up that are a little bit hidden that are in the works right now, but don't you worry. Just, take time to lay back, relax, and let those beautiful, abundant things come into you. Okay, that usually is how things come in anyway. When we're trying to force things to happen, it never really goes our way. So, just kind of take time to relax and allow those beautiful manifestations to come forth. Once we've kind of planted the intentions of the seeds of which we wish to grow and invest in and have take place in our life and manifest outwardly, we just, there's not much more to do. We can set a gentle focus on those things for the future and just kind of let them be and let them kind of coalesce as, divine timing determines is the right time for them. Okay. So I have demonstrate grace and majesty. Again, this is just kind of taking that, energy of just kind of standing back. This isn't a time to push. This isn't a time to control or force. This isn't a time to try to make things happen faster than they are meant to happen. Okay. This is a time where it's asking you to really just, lay back, relax. The hard work's been done and things are on their way. They just can't be seen right now. But it doesn't mean that they're not on their way. Let's keep going. So far, everything looks really good here. It's always a really positive energy to be in, just saying, hey, relax. You don't need to do anything. You've already done hard work, and the manifestations are on their way. If anything else wants to come through here. I have activation again. So things are beginning to take form and, coalesce in the background on their own. So there's no need for you to take any further action. The hard work's already been done. And so you need to kind of just take time to relax and allow those beautiful things to come into your life as divine timing determines is best. Okay. That really is the hardest part. Okay. So, all of these energies sound really great. And it's like, hey, just stay back, relax. Everything you've ever wanted is coming into play. But it is really hard to kind of wait, especially because a lot of times, we're, things get a little bit, not stuck or stagnant, but they might get a little bit boring. And so you're just kind of like, I just want something to happen already. Let's take a look at the overall energy, see what wants to come through. Overall energy. I have the overall energy as the Knight of Cups. Okay, so this again is an energy of just following the journey of the heart. This is following your heart's true desires and actually taking actionable steps on them. Okay, so it looks like you've already put in the time, you've already put in the energy, and the only thing left to do right now is to really just kind of open your heart, open your mind, and just keep moving forward with that heart on your sleeve and allow those opportunities to come forth to you. Let's look at the recent past. The recent past, I have the star. Okay, these are really great energies. You may have been through a really challenging time lately, especially since we're closing up, some really significant karmic cycles at this time, especially with the nose changing, here in just like a day or so, or they've already changed by the time this reading comes out. And so, we've closed out a lot of really trying things. And so you may have had really challenging time this month or over the last few months or even over the last few years. And things are really, closing out. And you may have gone through a really significant time of healing here with the star. This may also be that, you just were in a really divine energy of, wishing upon a star for what you wish to manifest and create in your life. Let's take a look at the present energy. With the present energy, I have justice. This is a really amazing energy. So far, you have some really nice major arcana energies. And this is telling me that not only are, these significant pivotal points in your life, but they're actually positive ones. So with the justice card coming out here in the present energy, it's just saying that, karmic rewards, karmic justice is coming in to play, and it's beginning to balance out the scale. So whatever it is that you've been through and had to wrap up, things are beginning to come into balance. And, that's why those manifestations that you have kind of put intentions into play over the last, maybe the last 6 months since the last, full moon, whatever you've done, it's saying that the scales are beginning to balance and those things will be coming into play soon. This is why they're telling you, hey, there's some things in the background that are lurking, but don't worry. The scales of justice are here to play and put in your manifestations into real time now. Okay. So it's just a matter of time, not a matter of if, but just a matter of time at this point. I have the Six of Pentacles coming out here for the near future. Again, this is just another card of equal give and take. This is a card of either being of service and now feeling abundant in, your energies now, and you're able to give and receive from other people and other situations. Maybe you're feeling a little more generous. This is also just, again, a smaller scale of that justice scale showing here. So this is also saying that, hey, things are really beginning to balance out. Whatever was unfair, unbalanced in your life in the recent past or in the recent years that's been closing out in those cycles, things are going to begin to balance themselves out. So wherever you were, losing in places of energy, time, money, resources, it's beginning to come back into balancing the scales out for you and begin to come into real form here in real manifestation in real time. Okay, let's take a look at the advice. The advice here I have is the Seven of Cups. Okay. So it looks like a lot of options are going to be coming your way. Okay. So maybe you put out some intentions of what it is you wanted to create, but maybe, they were a little bit general. Maybe they were just kind of like, I don't really know exactly what I want to create. I just know what I don't want to experience anymore. And so I'm just kind of open. Okay. So this is saying, be open, but don't get confused by all of the options. Okay, a lot of these options, some are going to be well worth your time and energy, some are going to be a waste of time. And so it's really calling for you to use your discernment when all of these new options and new opportunities come forth to you, and determine what you want to do. Because when we close out old cycles, it's basically an opportunity for us to just create what we want now instead of what we had before. So it gives us the ability to put those lessons into action of what we didn't really like about how things were before, and now we can create a new experience in our lives and change those things. Okay, so make sure you choose wisely when all of these new opportunities and options come into play and come forward in your life. Let's take a look at what's hidden in case there's something that you're not seeing right now that would prove helpful. What's hidden? What's hidden here is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so what's hidden here is, yeah, you're really tired. You've been through a lot. You persevered a lot. You recognize some patterns that were in play in cycles, and you're just kind of worn out. The Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior card, and basically it's just saying, hey, you know what? I've been through a lot. I'm almost there. Just keep going. Okay. So I know that you're really tired. It looks like you closed out a lot of stuff, especially with the star card coming here and healing taking place and things just starting to begin to balance out in your world, and you just haven't quite seen all of the rewards of those cycles ending out and things turning in a more positive direction. But just take heed in knowing that you're almost there. Okay, you made it this far, you're almost there. Just keep going. Okay, so that is what's hidden here, is just you've done a lot of work and it's okay, but things are really going to begin to shift here and change, and you'll be able to offload those burdens of the past and be lined up into the future here. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. What you don't see coming in the coming weeks is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so even though you've been tired, you've done a lot of work, it has been worth it, because what you don't see coming in the coming weeks is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is really a card that is about new love, new emotional happiness, new, emotional positive opportunities. Again, with this Knight of Cups that you had in this energy here as the overall energy, this is a journey of the heart. And really, when we start a journey of the heart, it really begins with us. Okay. So when we've been through a lot, especially with the Nine of Wands energy coming out and what's hidden here, and you're really tired, you're really exhausted, you've put in the work, it's just saying here, hey, now you are on a beautiful journey of the heart. What do you want your life to look like? What does bring you joy? And you can focus on that. Here at the bottom of the deck, I have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so you have the Ace of Cups here coming out in the coming weeks, and you have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. So really, it is going to be a time for all these new opportunities to come into play. And it's going to be up to you to be very discerning about which ones you want to invest time and energy into and which ones you don't. Don't make sure that you don't get fooled, because not every cup, not all that shimmers is gold. So make sure you use your discernment so that you don't make mistakes of the past and get yourself in situations that weren't exactly to your liking before. Make sure that you're making wise choices that, resonate with your heart and soul and feel really good to you, and things will work out really positively in the future for you. So I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.